Well, I never say myself. I always say my team. It's not about myself. It's just about how well as a team we can grow as a family and just get better every single day. Because the other teams out there is getting better every day. And if we take one step backwards, we're going to end up like we was this year. And we don't want that to happen again.
Every generation in sports, there is more than often a singular star that has made the face of the league and helped propel the league to new heights. For the last many years, that star has been LeBron James, a man who has gone from being the chosen one to a superstar to a multi-time NBA champion. Even in his 17th season, he's still dominating as if he hasn't aged one bit. But how much do you honestly know about the man? Allow us to show you 10 things you don't know about LeBron James. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 10, he spends a lot of money on his body. One of the reasons that LeBron James has been so dominant is that he is honestly going to painstaking lengths in order to make sure his body is at its peak and it stays at its peak. We know that may sound like a basic thing because all athletes train to make their bodies leaner, stronger, etc. But for LeBron James, he spends about $1.5 million a year in order to make sure that he is in the best shape of his life for basketball and beyond. He does cryotherapy. He bought himself a gym to put in his mansion so that he doesn't have to travel to a gym. He has hired people to help him get limber, to help him heal through injuries, and so on and so forth. He takes his conditioning seriously, so much so that some have likened him to literally treating his body like a temple. So if you wonder why he was able to go and do so much for so long, it's because he's literally trained his body to do just that, and as long as he can keep doing it, he'll keep playing in the NBA. Number 9. LeBron has a clothing line. It's not surprising that many NBA stars branch off and try to do their own thing in terms of businesses and getting their names out there in special ways. LeBron is no different, as he went and made his own clothing line via Unknown. He made it in 2011, and it offers streetwear, sneakers, and designer apparel, thus reaching a wide market for a whole bunch of people to buy, and it's done rather well to be honest, including getting some new store openings in 2018. There's always a danger in opening a new clothing line, because oftentimes the tastes of the people are subjective. But LeBron is stylish, and his name adds a lot of credibility to it, so we really shouldn't be too surprised that this has worked out for the better for him.
This is like the holy grail for me. Boom. Nike Air Zoom Generation, my first baby.
How does it spell?
Burp, she burped.
And to be clear, this is just one of many business ventures that LeBron has done over the years. He's invested in many things. As we're about to reveal, he's gone and owned a pizza store and more. He really likes to do business, and he's honestly really good at it. Number 8. Liverpool FC. No, LeBron James doesn't own Liverpool FC, a respected soccer club in England, but he does own a 2% stake in it, a stake that he bought for about $6.5 million. The irony, though, is that many people thought this was just a foolish move on LeBron's part, as the club had been underperforming and he was unlikely to make his investment back. They were wrong in that assessment, because not long after he bought a stake in the team got a lot better and even got to the top of their league. Now, his 2% is worth $32 million. That's over 5 times what he bought it for. It has been a thrill to watch such a storied club make their way back to the top again and be part of it all. LeBron likes the fact that he's diversified in another global sport, James's business partner Maverick Carter told ESPN. LeBron doesn't mind taking risks, and this one paid off in spades. Number 7. If he went to college. If you know the history of LeBron in the NBA, then you would know that he was one of the last players to go right from high school into the league. The NBA later changed the rule so that you have to have at least 1 year in college before departing for the league. As LeBron didn't have that rule to hold him back, he went straight to the NBA, and as such, many have wondered what would have happened if LeBron had gone to college and likely further refined his skills there. It is a major what-if question that obviously won't be answered in full, but it's a curious thing to think about for sure. While LeBron doesn't regret his decision, he has thought about what it would be like to have gone to college, and he has said in interviews that when he thinks back on it, he likely would have gone to either Ohio State or North Carolina. The first one is obvious because LeBron loves Ohio, But the second one likely was because it wasn't just a great school, but the former college home of Michael Jordan. Still, even without college, he made an immediate impact on the NBA, showing that while he may have gotten some refinement in college, he did just as much refining in the pros.
Who could have predicted that kid would become this guy, the king of the NBA, in such a short amount of time? LeBron James, you're looking at him getting ready for the Indiana Pacers.
Number 6, passing the ball. LeBron has been criticized a lot for his treatment of teammates, some of which is justified for the record, as his first year with the Los Angeles Lakers will prove. However, one incorrect assessment is that he's not the kind of guy to pass the ball to his teammates. Yet LeBron maintains that he does feel he's a pass-first player. "I've always loved the success of my teammates more than myself," James said in Chris Fedor's article for Cleveland.com. "I've always been like that since I was a kid. Even when I first started playing basketball, we had a kid named Sonny on our team that was younger than all of us, and he couldn't catch. So in order for him to catch, we used to roll the ball to him so he could pick it up and shoot it off the ground. And when he finally made one, it was like the greatest thing for all of us." Now sure, actions speak louder than words, but if you look at his assist totals per game, they really are pretty high for a star player like him.
Smith fends off Thomas, tries to get back to him. Smith missed it badly. It caroms out to James with a new shot clock. Oh, great no-look to Zizic, who puts it home.
Number 5, I Promise School. LeBron grew up knowing that you can't get everything you want, and he worked hard to provide for his family, his future wife, and now his kids. And he wants to give chances to those who are in similar situations. So not only does he do charity work, he spends his own money to try and get kids off the street and into school. So much so that he made the I Promise School that is in Akron, Ohio, his hometown. The point of the school is simple. It's to go and help at-risk kids in the area and make sure that they can get the education they need to live the life that they deserve.
LeBron James Family Foundation is opening a public school for at-risk youth.
LeBron himself opened the school, and 250 kids were enrolled in it during its opening. This is a different side of LeBron that you don't often get to see, which makes it all the more special to know that he did it.
The mission and the goal of the school is to have these kids feel like they superheroes.
Number 4, when MVPs leave. When you think about LeBron as an overall storyline, your mind will inevitably go to The Decision, where he chose to leave Cleveland for Miami.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Miami Heat. That was the conclusion you woke up with this morning.
That was the conclusion I woke up with this morning.
But the irony of the decision was that it wasn't a precedent in terms of his leaving for another team after dominating the previous year. In fact, 2 other NBA legends in Wilt Chamberlain and Moses Malone also left teams after winning the MVP trophy the season prior. Granted, the decision was more loud than their departures, but he wasn't alone in wanting to leave one team to go and win rings with another. Number 3, right and left. Here's a curious thing about LeBron you might not know. When it comes to his writing, he does it with his left hand. He also eats with his left hand. Very curious, no? More than likely this is because he doesn't want to hurt or overuse his right hand. LeBron is very careful with his body, as we noted. This also means that technically he's ambidextrous.
Ambidexterity is a state of being equally adapted in the use of both the left and the right hand.
Number 2, cover it up. When LeBron was in high school in Ohio, via a very nice private school, he already had some of his trademark ink that we all know. The problem? He couldn't show it on the court. Yeah, his school made LeBron and his teammates literally cover up their tattoos when they were playing the games. Number 1, LeBron in football. Many have said that LeBron could have been a football player, and he almost was one. The reason he chose basketball over football was simple. When he was at hoops camp, he went and broke his wrist. This made him realize that if he went the football route, he would likely be in more danger of injury than with basketball. Which is true in its own way, as there is constant contact in the NFL versus only sporadic contact in the NBA. He chose the path less injured, and the results speak for themselves. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at LeBron James and how he is much more than what you think he is? Which of these facts shed a new light on LeBron as a whole? Where does he rank for you on the list of all-time greats in the NBA? Just how long do you think he can keep up this insane pace and skills? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.